What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily Fantasy Quickie. What's up, guys? Welcome to another Quickie. It's a Sunday. We're back to our regular Quickie. If you haven't checked it out, yesterday or early this morning, we posted the DFQ, Daily Fantasy Quickie. Well, it was kind of like a weekly episode already with Eric Ong. Lots of insights as well in that episode, so check that out. Kamish, how are you?
Yes.
Tomorrow, Judgment Day.
Fine.
How are the teams?
I'm okay. Cruising in a sense that it's 5-4, 4-5. You know, more like that. I'm just trying to wait for the playoffs right now. I'm trying to make it. I wanted it to start already, but well,
it's still a
we have to wait.
Most of your teams are having playoffs on the 18th week.
Yes. Week 18 to week 20. So I made a mistake. I'm a commissioner in a lot of those leagues. I did not know that would be until the very end. So, well, I have to live with that. So right now I have to adjust and be ready for whatever happens. Yeah, the craziness that will happen in week 18 to 20.
Yeah, and actually, if your playoffs start next week, I think it would be a good sigh of relief as well. Because especially if you have a lot of teams. So I have, I think, 3 or 4 teams who will have their playoffs next week.
Oh, okay. I released the week 16 schedule analyzer already. By the way,
the schedules in the schedule. You can check out the Facebook page for the schedule analyzer for week 16 in case you are starting the playoffs. And so let's talk about some players and some injuries first. Let's start from the bad and work our way up. Kelly Oubre and James Weissman from the Golden State Warriors. Looks like this is going to really be a Steph Curry type of team now, with just everyone being injured and Steph Curry being left alone to score.
Yes, and the past 6 games of Steph has been on fire. 30 to 40 points a game the past 6 games. So he's on fire. And Kelly Oubre's injury is a sprained wrist. Steve Kerr said it's not that major injury, but he's not gonna play their next game. I don't know if it's tomorrow or the day after. And if it's a sprained wrist, he might end up missing some games. So be prepared for that, since, as Jeremy said, it might be your playoff already next week. And James Weissman has a knee issue that, again, Steve Kerr downplayed and said, they'll have some MRI, some checks, but he downplayed it. But I am not gonna be surprised if he's also gonna miss some games. So that is a problem, because Weissman is not really a must-hold if he's gonna miss 1 or 2 games in your playoff week. Yeah. That's gonna be a problem. So, if he misses 1 or 2 games, he can drop him.
I already got a question about James Weissman just before this, and the question was if he can add Baisley for Weissman. Well, Baisley played today.
Yes, I can do that because of the injury. But if it wasn't for the injury, I would stick with Beasley. And if it's his playoff week already this week, because Weissman missing 1 or 2 games this week would be very crucial, very, very big factor. He might be out already, right?
Yes,
so survival mode right now. You have to survive.
And if the playoffs start next week,
I could go. I could go with that.
If the playoffs start next week, then definitely he might not be hold anymore, because that would cost you a lot of games as well. And we all know the playoffs is all about
and
the
he's
number
not
of
that. And he's not playing that well anyway. I mean, not a 20-point, 10 rebound guy or 17.5, 8 rebound, 2 blocks kind of guy anyway. So the upside is not that high. Yeah.
Speaking of the Oklahoma Thunder's Pokusevski, Aleksej Pokusevski, the thing with this guy is that it seems like every day, every game he plays, there's an injury. He's like a walking, he's like an injury waiting to happen.
Yes, but the injury today really bothered him. I read that during the warm-ups, he was shooting, and then after every shot, he will stop, he will go to the trainer, and they will check. He will shoot, they will stop, he will check. And then in the game, he still started, but only lasted 8 minutes. It's the arm thing. I guess it's too thin. Could not.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Could not withstand shooting so many shots the past few games.
That's what I was saying.
I'm dropping him.
So he is for you a drop already.
I guess we're gonna go to Baisley, right? We're gonna talk about Darius Baisley and Lou Dort. Both of them.
We can talk about
today.
him now.
And
so both
even if Poku still started, he's going to have some problems he's gonna have a less usage and less shots, right? Because of those two. So I'm dropping him. I'm not gonna wait for whatever injury he has or whether he's okay or not.
Yeah,
I'm moving on.
And you know, if you watched yesterday's episode with Eric Ong, he mentioned that most likely Baisley would get all the minutes and all the shots that he can get because they are going to try and develop him as much as they can, and they will use this time to really develop him and try to make him their I guess the foundational player that they are looking for. So yeah, Pokusevski is out. Could be a drop. I'm just waiting for the next week to drop him because I don't have any ads anymore. So it's useless really to drop him at this point. Other injury.
Yes. Baisley for me though is not really. I'm not too high on Baisley. Like today, he had a good game, but he had 9 turnovers, and he shot the ball well today. But remember, this guy can kill your field goal, and if he's gonna take more aggressive role on offense, the 9 turnovers, that might not be a fluke, guys. So
no, 9 is too much. I think that's a fluke. 9 is too much, but the fluke, that's a fluke. But the field goal is also a fluke.
Yeah, yes, but the 9 turnovers is a fluke in the sense that it's not going to be 9. But even if he gives you 5 or 4 a game for a power forward, that's gonna kill your turnovers. And in a playoff situation, every category counts. So you have to weigh whether whatever he gives you will be worth it for those turnovers.
I actually owned him early this season, and he is a field goal killer.
Yes.
The only reason why you'd probably hold him is he's got good block rate and good rebounding, I guess.
But you have to weigh it. You have to weigh whether those are enough for you.
He can go 1 out of 10 in one game, 2 out of 8, and then go 7 out of 12 like he did today.
Yes.
It's
so be careful.
Over the place. It's just all over the place. So that's Darius Baisley for you guys and Aleksej Pokusevski. Other injured players with update. These are big name players. Anthony Davis and LeBron James. I just got a question today about LeBron James being dropped. If they can already drop him because their playoffs start next week. And based from the timeline that was given,
you can drop. Yes, you can drop him based on what he said, 3 weeks. If you start next week 16, 17, 18, that's it. Right?
And
he comes back when your season ends. So you should drop him already.
Yep. And I actually wouldn't blame you as much if your playoffs start week 17. If you want to drop him as well, if he's eating up your roster spot.
If he's not in your IL and even if your playoff starts on week 17, yes, you should drop. The problem, as Eric said yesterday, Eric Ong, maybe it's too late now. You should have dropped him earlier. But if you're still in the playoffs, that means at least no harm done, right? You got into the playoffs even while carrying LeBron. But now, you cannot carry his roster spot anymore if you're just going to get 1 week or maybe none or zero at all, right? Anthony Davis, it's 10 days to 14 days. Some media said 7 to 10, 10 to 14. He's more of a hold. Anthony Davis is more of a hold. But 10 to 14 days, that's also, if you're going to start your playoff next week, it's also going to be like, it's only 1 week left for you to... You have to reach the finals to be able to use him. In other words, if it's 10 to 14 days.
Well, if you have an IL slot and you are quite confident that you'll make the finals, you can play it by, see how that goes. Because if he's not eating up your roster spot, then you could still hold on to him and see if he can give you. But I wouldn't expect too much on finals week. From Anthony Davis.
I agree. It's his finals week will be his first week back, so good luck with that.
Right. Yeah, and probably if I'm not sure how many games the Lakers have in that finals week, probably around 4 games. Let's say it's 4 games. He'll probably just play 2.
Yes, I think they have 4 games. If I'm not mistaken, week 18 he has 4 games. They have 4 games.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just plays 2 of those games or maybe just 1 of those games. And especially if the schedule
it's a bummer.
Is really bad. Like if it's bad teams against bad teams, then he'll probably be rested more after a game or 2. So those are the injury updates. Let's move on to some good news. Returning players. We talked about Darius Bazley. Be careful in owning him. And Lu Dort also returned. Lu Dort is
same deal.
He's not really a must hold. He's been dropped even when he was still playing. So I don't think you'll be excited to be adding Lu Dort. Kyle Lowry,
but he's gonna hurt. Lu Dort is gonna hurt Theo Maledon. He's gonna hurt Theo Maledon though. So that's the big thing there. Maledon is gonna take a hit.
But do you already drop Maledon at this point, or just see what happens first?
In 14 team leagues, I'm holding on Maledon because he's still the starter. Got 30 something minutes still. But you can see when Dort plays, he takes some of the ball handling duties from Maledon. Even if he plays 30 plus minutes, he's even gonna be more inconsistent. Yeah. But the minutes are there, so I'm holding in 14 team leagues. In 12 team leagues, you can move on.
If you also watched yesterday's episode, Eric Ong recommended Cole Anthony more than Theo Maledon or Killian Hayes. So I guess with this news on Lu Dort, it's an easier decision for you to
call.
Yep,
yes, that's an easier call.
I've seen a few Cole Anthonys here and there in the waiver wire still because he hasn't really played much. I think he's still on minutes limit. So there you can scoop that up. Even I guess you could just scoop him up if Maledon is your worst player in their lineup. Just pick up Cole Anthony already and drop Maledon probably. He is not even giving you very consistent production anyway. Yes,
that's correct.
He is just getting minutes. That's all he gets, and that doesn't count in fantasy. All right, Kyle Lowry could be back, and the Raptors though are in tank mode, and the tank mode is on.
Yes, but he's coming back tomorrow and
for a game.
No, I think he's gonna be back. Don't drop your Malachi Flynn because Fred VanVleet is still out and he's suspended for a game anyway. So if he's ready to return, he's still gonna miss a game. Just keep Flynn. But Lowry, I think this is good news. Because the Raptors are staying within striking distance. I'm not sure that they're really tanking yet.
Well,
but they have to start winning.
They rested Siakam today. I mean,
they did, but
and even the notes said it's rest tanking.
They're not doing a good job if they're tanking.
But they are not as close as they would want to. I think they're 6 or 7 games behind
from number 10. I don't think so.
Yeah.
No. It's not. It's
or
not
the
that
8.
far.
Maybe it's the 8.
I think maybe the 8. The 10th. I doubt they're 6 games out of 10th spot. But
Toronto is they're just a game out of a win. So they're 2 games out. I think
they're near.
Yeah.
They're too near the 10th spot, and then they're too far the worst 5 or 6 teams in overall in the NBA to really tank all out. So I think they will try to win it out, but maybe not as motivated to win, but still gonna try a little bit.
Yeah.
You know the feeling of, I don't like it, but okay, I'll give it a try. More than like, I know I'm gonna really try to lose.
There's still different. They still haven't decided on what direction they really want to go. They're half-hearted on the tanking and half-hearted on the winning.
It's like in your exam, it's different if you want to get a 0, or different if I'll try, but it's okay if I get a 60. I mean, at least I'm gonna write something, not just my name in the exam.
This is like in fantasy, wherein you're not sure if you're gonna play certain players because the turnovers are close, but the other counting categories are also close. So you don't know if you're gonna sit that player or play that player just to try and win both categories, right? So it's like that situation wherein I think Masai Ujiri is in. Like, are we really gonna tank at this point, or are we gonna attempt to at least make the play-in and
they're
maybe just lose the play-in?
They're too good.
They won today. Even without those
and
players.
They're signing Cambridge. Cambridge is gonna be an unrestricted free agent. I mean, that is a winning move. So I actually feel that they're gonna win some games coming up. They're gonna win some games, and I'm not gonna be surprised if they're gonna make a run to even the 8th spot. I have a feeling
they are. I think 5 games away from the 8th. That's what I was saying.
We were afraid. We were afraid of Lowry being shut down and not coming back, but now I think he's at least gonna be playing. Maybe not an every game player, but he's gonna be playing. So that's the best news you could ask for if you're a Lowry owner, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, I still feel these players are you don't worry too much. Like we said yesterday, we don't worry too much anymore about
what can you do.
Yeah, you can't really do anything but just deal with it, right?
Yes.
And you don't drop these types of players like Siakam or Lowry. You can't even trade them now at this point. So I think it's pretty much suck it up and just move on and just try to win it as best as you can. Larry Nance and Jarrett Allen, who's been out for quite a while. For 2 weeks? They've been out for 2 weeks.
Allen longer. Allen probably 3 weeks. I had the laugh when I read. Yeah. I had the laugh when I read someone post in another group that I doesn't know what kind of concussion injury Jarrett Allen has, because if it's been this long, it might be a brain damage issue already. because like it's too long. It's been too long. It's just the owner's really just frustrated. But the good news is they're now gonna practice, and Jarrett Allen and Larry Nance possibly will gonna play next week. They're gonna play next week, and after tomorrow, Cleveland has a 2-day break. Then they're gonna play on Wednesday, so they're probably gonna play during in that game. So that's good news.
Yeah,
for both of these players.
That would take a hit into the value of Dean Wade and Isaiah Hartenstein, who has been playing really well. Hartenstein has been a stud. Even if he's coming off the bench.
And both of these players were my top streamer for next week in my weekly whatever. But before I posted it, I read about this, so I had to change it. So now I just left Dean Wade there. I guess Dean Wade, because Cleveland has a back-to-back, I guess Kevin Love is gonna miss his first game.
He's not gonna miss any games.
He's gonna miss. is gonna miss back-to-back, I think, this coming week. So Dean Wade, I think, would have better chance of having value than Hartenstein. So I'm gonna keep Dean Wade as one of my streamers for next week.
Nope, guys.
But still, it's a big hit. It's a big hit.
Kevin Love would play 2 minutes in those back-to-back games. 2
I
minutes.
doubt it.
All it takes is just 1 minute. Just get in there, do some run, and then
It's
jog
like this.
around.
Allen and Nance coming back means Kevin Love will get injured. That's what will happen.
No,
That's what will happen.
I'm closer to believe that he might not be really played at all if Nance and Allen comes back. But let's see. He's one game down. He plays 1 game already, right? Since we made the bet.
It doesn't matter.
15 more games.
Matter.
Come on, Kevin Love. Come on, Kevin Love.
Doesn't matter.
I need you to play 15 more games. Just jog around the court and, that'd be fine. I don't need you to score or do anything. Really.
I have our bet already, by the way. If Kevin Love plays 16 games, so 15 more, I'm gonna pick him next year.
All right. If you're gonna pick him and hold on to him. Hold on.
But I have to choose what league. I have to choose what league. But I'm gonna hold on to him in one of my leagues. For you.
Wait. I was thinking pick him in the Dynasty League and hold him until next year.
No.
Wait, if I lose, I'll pick Kevin Love.
Of course.
It has to be in the same league where we are in. So there's just 2 leagues there.
We have 3 leagues. Fantasy Benchwarmer League.
But that would be
okay, one of the 2 leagues.
Shuffled.
But let's not hold for the whole season. That's too much.
Why?
Maybe
you afraid? You afraid he plays 15 games?
First 3 weeks. I'm just worried for you because I know you want to bounce back next year. You want to bounce back next year, and it's gonna be hard for you to bounce back.
It might end up that I'll become a Kevin Love I'll have some fantasy love for Kevin Love next year because I wanted him to do.
Yes.
But
okay,
let's see,
so that's our bet, guys.
All right, whoever wins, whoever loses picks Kevin Love next year. In the draft.
Yes.
We'll still discuss
in one of the 2 leagues.
Yeah, in one of the 2. Most likely the other league wherein it's not Dynasty. I don't think anyone wants to hold on to him in a Dynasty league anyway.
Okay. Yes.
Right. So, yep. Waiver wire special. Let's talk about some players you can add. Tony Bradley. We've talked about Tony Bradley for quite a while.
We cannot talk about Tony Bradley if we don't talk about Moses Brown.
Yep.
So yeah, he's inconsistent and he's gonna be really painful to own because of his inconsistency.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, Tony Bradley will have bad. I'm holding Tony Bradley in my leagues. Pick him up.
How many minutes did he play? He played 25 minutes, 16 and 14, 3 blocks. And Moses Brown played just 19 minutes. And it was 6 and 6. I'm not sure if it's a revenge game for Tony Bradley because he was against the Philadelphia 76ers. But we'll see.
Well, yeah. We'll see.
Daniel Gafford returned, played not bad. I mean, 9 points. I think he had 9 points or 9 minutes.
He had 9 points. I think he had 4 rebounds. Only he is in minutes restriction.
Yep.
So as
minutes.
I wrote there, if he's still available in your leagues, you should pick him up because when his minutes restriction is lifted, it's gonna be kind of hard to pick him already by that time. You have to be ahead. And before he got injured, remember he was being hyped by the coach, by Bradley Beal, by his new teammates. So he's trending in the right direction.
Yeah,
pick him up.
Like we said before, who is he competing against in Washington? Alex Len and who? Robin Lopez. So really, even with the minutes restrictions, he had more minutes than Alex Len and Robin Lopez.
Yes.
And produce way more than those two guys combined, I guess. Right? Yeah. Those two combined were just 12 points and 4 rebounds. Although, just 3 rebounds. Nothing else. And he should be added already. Daniel Gafford. Josh Jackson and Sadiq Bey. Surprising, I saw some Sadiq Bey in a couple of my leagues being dropped.
What's up with that? I mean, I don't know what picked up on Sadiq Bey.
Not even picked up in the waiver after the waiver has passed. So,
if people are so high on Reggie Bullock, I think they should be higher on Sadiq Bey because he's more consistent. He's more consistent. I mean, Reggie Bullock has the ups and downs, but Sadiq has the downs, but he's more steady.
No, and Sadiq is a more, how can I say this? More the more
well-rounded.
has star potential, has more star potential than Bullock. We all know that Bullock is a role player. And he's not, if Jeremy Grant sits, we all know that the ball would probably end up with Sadiq Bey most of the time, because he is probably their top player.
And Jeremy Grant has rested the past. Well, I don't know if it's rest or anything. He has not played the past 2 games.
Yep.
And
I think he has an injury
with some. Well. No, it's just soreness. So
yeah,
this is tank mode. This is the real tank mode. So that's Jeremy Grant is gonna be a problem for me in the fantasy playoffs. I really don't know what to do with him. I don't want to drop him, but if this continues, I might have to. I really might have to drop him already.
Yeah,
it's sad, but
the good thing for me in all the leagues where I own Jeremy Grant, I'm probably out of the playoff picture. So at least I won't have to worry about that. There's only one league left wherein I have a chance, but it's a very slim chance. I need to win by 7-2 at least, and that doesn't even guarantee me of a shot. And I used up. It's a league wherein we have a 55 move limit or 50 move limit. This week alone, I think I used up 15 moves already just to try and win 7-2, and I still got a chance.
Yes, you should do that. If this is the last week, you should do that.
Just finishing up all those.
Finish all your moves. Don't reserve anything.
Even adding JaVale McGee because I need the blocks. So let's see, it's a 16-team league as well. So it's a very deep league, and well, we'll see. Anyways, Josh Jackson, add once again.
I'm very hesitant in advising on Josh Jackson, but that's it. Wayne Ellington, Jeremy Grant, they're not playing, so I think if you want someone from Detroit, Josh Jackson would be the best bet right now. Aside from Sadiq Bey, of course. Yeah. Diallo has been so-so also, so I'm gonna go Josh Jackson.
And moving on to the Golden State Warriors, as we said, Oubre and Weissman would probably be out a few games. We'll be surprised if they played, but just in case they don't play, Jordan Poole and Juan Toscano Anderson back in the waiver wire pickup radar. Jordan Poole was actually good without Steph Curry.
Yes, he's gonna be inconsistent. But next week, I've talked about Warriors player because they play next week. There will be three days where there will be very few games scheduled, 4 games, 6 games, something like that. And Golden State plays in all those games. 2 of the 3 days, and they have a 4-game schedule and an easy schedule. So Poole and Toscano Anderson, they might be good streamers for you at least next week. Toscano Anderson has to rely on James Wiseman missing the game next week. I think Weissman will miss, so monitor that.
Yeah, but again, this might also be a deep league ad or a team desperate ad at this point. Playoff streams. Yep, playoff streams, and kind of a speculative as well because these players are not really consistent. You don't expect them to perform every game, and with the ball really in Steph's hands most of the time, We are not sure how they can help.
They also have to monitor Mo Harkless. He started a while ago, played 30 minutes, and Delon Wright is just gone. So drop Delon Wright already. He's still owned in a lot of leagues. Drop him and then monitor Mo Harkless if he will continue to start.
Yeah.
He sometimes has a stretch of good games, Mo Harkless.
Mo Harkless, in case you don't know, he is in Sacramento, so you can pick him up. Also another player who might benefit the quote-unquote tanking of the Toronto Raptors is Bembry.
Yes.
Bembry played well today. But Lowry's coming back. But we'll see how that changes. Do you already drop Bembry?
Yes. I dropped Bembry first before Flynn.
Right.
I think what happens will be Lowry takes over Bembry's spot in the starting position, and Flynn will be probably getting the backup minutes.
Yep. And Flynn has been really, really, really good.
Flynn's sanity.
Yep. He has been really great. Even better than players like Cole Anthony and Theo Maledon. So if you're looking for a point guard, he might be your guy, especially if Van Vliet continues to miss games. All right, let's talk about some great performances today in our segment called Real or Fluke. Let's talk about a low-end player first. Taylon Horton Tucker. He has been playing well lately. Today he had 14 points, 11 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, though he didn't shot the ball well, and 2 3-pointers. Real or fluke? He's had double-figure games in 4 straight games now.
The assists are fluke, definitely. But for next week, I think you should stream him. The Lakers, I said the Warriors play in 2 of the 3 lean days. The Lakers play in all 3. They play in all 3 of those few game days. So you could stream Taylon Horton Tucker. No LeBron, no AD,
no Kuzma.
Kuzma is not sure if he's coming back or not, but I think Horton Tucker can be a short-term thing. But if it's gonna be a real thing for the rest of the season, I don't think so. But for next week, yes.
The assist might have been because Schroeder was ejected today, so that might have contributed a bit more. But the Lakers also played really well today after beating the Nets, and we'll talk more about that in our weekly episode later tonight. We will record it with Buhay Basket, so wait for that and check that out tomorrow. We'll release it tomorrow. All right, another player who played well pretty much played the game of his life. Gary Trent missed only twice. 17 of 19.
Twice, yes.
7 3-pointers. He scored 44 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, and 4 assists. Real or fluke? It has fluke written all over it.
Yes. He I will not say he's not doing this again, but don't be carried away. He no Siakam, no Lowry, no Van Vliet, and he will not shoot 17 of 19 ever again in his life. I don't know what he ate, but it's not. He's a one-dimensional player. I have him in 2 or 3 of my leagues, so I'm not a hater. It's just that I know he's a one-dimensional player. He's not Norman Powell. His steals are not that high or not that consistent. He's 3-pointers and points. That's it. So
who would you rather
that one
own?
He can continue. He can score 18 to 20 points.
Who would you rather own? Gary Trent or Duncan Robinson?
Gary Trent at this point. Gary Trent. Because Toronto, as you said, is kind of, well, actually they're very shallow. They only have 5 to 6 real, players in their rotation that can really play. So he gets more attempts than Duncan Robinson. But Duncan Robinson might have a big week coming up. Oladipo and Kendrick Nunn are both gonna be out. So I might have to reconsider that answer since it's only a few weeks left.
I'll probably
still Trent. But
I'll probably pick Trent as well because He rebounds better, I guess, and he has some occasional steals here and there. I mean, he is a one-dimensional player, but he can contribute in a few stats, in a few categories every now and then. So I'd go with.
But good. Since you mentioned Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero is also possibly out. So
many out.
Tyler Hero has a problem with, I don't know which part of his body. I forgot. But he's possibly not going to play the next game. We know Oladipo is out already.
Yep.
And then Kendrick Nunn hasn't come back yet. So Duncan Robinson, actually, that's a good point by Jeremy. Check him out, because if he's available in your leagues, you should pick him for the short term.
Yep. And the last player on our real or fluke list,
this guy.
The guy who, they played one of the last games as well. Enes Kanter. Big game today.
Big game.
24 points, 30 rebounds, 30 rebounds. I wouldn't be surprised if he out-rebounded the whole Pistons team. 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. 9 out of 16 from the field.
That's a fluke. First of all,
it's a fluke in the sense that Detroit had 38 rebounds. Kanter had 30.
And we did mention in this quickie already a lot of times, the team that gives up the most fantasy points in daily fantasy and also gives up a lot of stats for opposing big men is Detroit. Opposing big men. So daily fantasy players know this. If Detroit is the opponent, the big man they're playing against, you should pick him. And Kanter does show that today. That's a fluke, but he's gonna be valuable, as we already said before. Even with Nurkic, he's still gonna be valuable. There's a lot of questions whether they should use their waiver priority on on Kanter, because he's been dropped. And for me, yes. Don't even think about it. Yes.
Yeah.
Pick him up. Use it.
At this point, if you are getting near that playoff rounds, when are you gonna use it, right? I mean,
and he's worth it.
Kanter's not a bad player. Like, he's not a borderline drop player. He's not even close to being a drop player. Even with Nurkic.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised that he's being dropped at this point of the season?
Being
fantasy
dropped.
Time.
Yes, I am not surprised if people ask whether he should be dropped or not. But
actually dropping.
But actually dropping him, I would be really surprised, because we haven't really seen Nurkic. I mean, and I don't think Nurkic will be back to the level wherein people are expecting him to be. No, I don't think he'll get there. And we've already seen Kanter give really good fantasy output.
Oh, by the way, the Nurkic Bamba question that we gave Eric yesterday, Bamba got injured also. So I don't know what. It's really hard to be a fantasy, to analyze fantasy these days. It's like, okay, Bamba, and then you hear, okay, yes, an injury, hip contusion, hip something, hip here, hip there.
Though Mo Bamba is another player who is quite fragile. He has been, he has had lots of injuries and even illnesses before that are, not
just.
And he is in the Orlando Magic. I don't know what's up in Orlando, but there's seems like an injury curse out there. We can talk about
lots of injuries, guys. Lots of injuries. Every day something happens. It's so you have to really be updated now.
But talking about the Magic, like, they have Jonathan Isaac, who has never been healthy in a season with Orlando. Markelle Fultz, who was playing well, and then got season-ending injury. And who else? Like, now Bamba is injured.
Kiki is injured also, by the way.
Right, so it's Orlando.
And then you know why? I mean, they're already cursed, and then they tease the injury gods by trading for Otto Porter. The injury god said, you want that, you want that, okay.
You want Otto Porter.
Okay, and then look what happened. Kiki is injured right now.
Otto Porter rubbed off everyone the wrong way now. So there, lots of injuries. It's a matter of, I think, heading into the finals, it's a matter of being updated and being fast and being decisive when you add players.
And having healthy players. Yep.
That's how it is. If your playoffs start next week, I hope you saved an ad, a move this week, right?
For next
so that you can add one player tomorrow or today. Now you can add now a player to start off your, at least it would seem like you have 6 moves than 5, right? It's plus 1. So that's another tip that you can use. Hopefully it's not too late when you listen to this.
Although check the Monday schedule because there's a lot of games this Monday. I think it's 11 or 12. So you might have a full schedule, full lineup ready. What you should do is check the Tuesday games, right?
No, but what you can do is, even if you have a full scheduled games, you can look into the free agent pool because your move for today won't carry over to next week. So if you find someone there in the free agent pool who might have a better matchup than any of your players, your streamers, then you can just change up that player. You won't use it anyway, right? You won't use
That's true.
So you can weigh that. At least, you don't really have to add, but you can, consider by checking out the free agent pool and see who's available right there. And a lot of managers are also dropping left and right players who should be owned. So maybe there's 1 or 2 there that worth picking up. All right?
Yeah.
That's it for our daily fantasy quickie on a Sunday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Judgment Day, week 15. Good luck, guys. Bye.